How's it? It's March. March is the month of the wandering stag, and the roar is just around the corner. In fact, a couple of mates of mine heard one roaring up in the hills the other day. Now most of us hardcore hunters are looking forward to getting out there in the bush and nailing us a massive stag. Now I want to share a story with you, something that happened to me a couple of years ago. Got invited up the coast to hunt the block up there. We got there a bit early, about 2:30 in the afternoon. It was a stinking hot day in the high 20s, and the fella we were there with wanted to go for a walk up the hill just to see if we could see any deer. And I said, mate, we're not going to see any animals. It's stinking hot, it's the middle of the day, the wind's blowing uphill behind us, we're not going to see any deer. But he was persistent, so we went for a walk anyway. Anyway, we cruised up the hill, me, Smitty and another fella, Craig, and we get up to the clearings, and sure enough, no deer on the first clearing. I was a little bit dehydrated, so I decided to stay under a tree with the boys carried on up over the hill. Now I didn't have a gun, I had my camera with the big zoom lens on, and that was it. So I sat under the shade of the tree and I was reviewing some of the photos that I'd taken earlier on in the day. And I looked down on the clearing, and right down on the edge of the clearing I saw a fallow stag. Clear as day, right there. I was like, man, wasn't moving, looked like it had its head down feeling, and I thought, man, that looks like a deer. So I got my big lens, put it on the camera, put the camera on the tripod, zoomed in on the deer and had a look at it, and I was like, yep, for sure that's a fallow stag, without a doubt. Now if I had had a gun, I would have put the sights on that deer and I would have drilled it right through the shoulder. Now as I was watching this animal, it went from a stag into a log right in front of my eyes. It was like computer generated imagery, CGI. It was unbelievable. I was a little bit confused. I was like, what the hell? It was almost as if someone had pre-recorded the scene on my camera and changed it with computer graphics to morph from a deer into a log, and I was astounded. I rubbed my eyes, I took a second take, I turned the camera on and off, put it back on it, and up, it was a log, plain as day. Whereas 5 minutes before, 1 minute beforehand, 100% that was a deer. I identified it. I saw the antlers, I saw its front legs, I even saw it moving. It was just a toy bush in the log, and the wind blowing the toy bush is a deer moving, and there was no doubt in my mind that what I was looking at was a deer. Now 90% of people that shoot other hunters out in the woods say the same thing. They say, no, I identified it as a deer. So what I encourage people to do, instead of just identifying it as a deer, count the amount of points it's got in its antlers. You know, identify, is it a male or a female? Is it a yearling? Is it an old deer? Is it a young deer? Just take a couple of seconds to, instead of say, yep, it's a deer, and shoot it, just identify what kind of deer it is. I haven't had this happen when I've been behind the rifle, but no doubt it may happen one day. So I just really encourage you guys out there, wear a blaze orange or blaze blue. Just take a couple of seconds to identify what age the animal is and how many points it's got on its head, and whether it's a hind or a buck or a stag or a doe. And hey, you never know, we may lessen the instances of people getting shot out there. So having said that, guys, have a really safe roar. Go hard. Wear some blaze orange or some blaze blue. Stony Creek make a really good blaze blue. Be safe. Have fun.